How's it going, everybody? Looks like we got some problems with the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. A little bit of trouble in paradise when it comes to the Battlefront Classic Collection. Now, the Classic Collection officially released today, and based on the reception on Steam, it is not looking all too positive. Unfortunately, it looks like there's quite a lot of issues. Now, we are not certain on how it's being received as far as the PlayStation version as well. I'm sure more information of that will roll out probably by the time you guys are watching this video, but I thought it would be important to cover what is going on right now. So right now, as I'm recording this video, the game has dropped. As noted by Twitter user Sabaku, 10,000 people were playing on launch night. That's midnight when the game officially dropped. Only has 3 servers available that have 64 slots for a total of 200 players. So they anticipated 200 players. From what I know, more server space has been opened up recently and more people can get on, but it's a laggy experience, so we'll talk about that as well. Multiplayer doesn't work otherwise. Price tag of 35 USD. It is quite the robbery that it is being called. Now, it's a robbery in the sense that, okay, yeah, obviously the online issues is really bad, and if you're buying this game, especially on PC, chances are the online play is why you are buying it, because it's not like this is some big remaster upgraded release, and the Battlefront games were already available in their classic forms on PC. Yes, if you're buying this game on Nintendo Switch, if you're buying this game on Xbox, if you're buying this game on PS4 or PS5, it's incredibly exciting because Battlefront 1 and 2 are two incredibly iconic games. A lot of you guys are super nostalgic with them, and it's the first time that the games are going to be available on those platforms. But if you're on PC, Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2 go on sale all the time for $2 and change and around that range, $2 to $5. So you're paying a premium at $35 to buy this classic collection. So the reason you're gonna be buying it, chances are, is so you can take advantage of revitalized online servers. That is literally it if you're buying this game on PC. And at the end of the day, when it comes to the online play, it's a bummer because, you know, going into the release, obviously we didn't know that the gravitas of issues were gonna be this bad, but however, we did know that the game was not going to have cross-platform play, which was a real big limiter for a game like this. And you can tell me to an extent like, hey, this is a thrown together, you know, remastered collection. First of all, it probably shouldn't be thrown together when you're talking about iconic games like Battlefront 1 and 2, and I get it that there's big licensing fees involved and you can't do everything that the consumer base wants. However, anybody with half a brain cell knows that if the Battlefront Classic Collection was done justice, if it was done well, if it had cross-platform play and all of these elements baked into it, it would have been a very, very big seller. And I'm not even talking about you had to fully remake the game ground up, but some visual enhancements here and there I do think would take the game a long way. Just the absolute bare minimum, to be perfectly honest. Bare minimum plus cross-platform play, I think would have done a lot for the Classic Collection, and I wouldn't have been surprised. And working servers, of course, if all of that came together, I wouldn't be surprised if this collection sold millions upon millions of copies. It might end up still selling millions upon millions of copies because guess what? The Star Wars IP and Battlefront, especially from a nostalgic sense, is that big that even though the game's reception on Steam is super negative, when this game is being promoted on like the PlayStation dashboard, the eShop, and the Xbox store, and everything like that, it's a game that's gonna grab the eyes of a lot of people. And you're talking about an audience that isn't terminally online either. They're just, you know, coming home from a long day of work, they're popping up their PlayStation, they're turning it on, and they see Battlefront Classic Collection. They're gonna be like, wow, I played that game all the time as a kid. $35, that's not too expensive, let me go buy that right away. And it's still gonna sell very well, even with all of these issues. And I guess it's part of it being like, hey, maybe Aspire's looking at it like, we could just slap together a lazy release and it's still gonna sell incredibly well. And why do the additional work versus my thought process of, yeah, it's gonna still sell very well, but why not do the additional work, make it as good as possible, and then it would sell even better. You would promote a lot of healthy dialogue online of people being excited about this game, of people revisiting this game. Like, again, if you're talking about Battlefront 1 and 2 with online cross-platform play, I think this would have gotten that positive dialogue online that we've been talking so much about, that Helldivers 2 has done a phenomenal job with in terms of promoting discussion between the community and people talking about the game, sharing clips online. Now, Battlefront certainly isn't the type of game that Helldivers is, but you could still do it to a smaller scale and have a lot of discussion online of people being like, wow, I'm going back to my childhood, the game's so much fun, oh, I'm playing with my boys on PlayStation and I'm on PC, so on and so forth. You could have that healthy dialogue going on, and maybe me just talking about all of this behind a microphone on a commentary, it's easier said than done, but I do wonder, like, yes, it is easier said than done, but is it that difficult to get the right developers in place, get the right amount of time investment and everything like that, to get cross-platform play, to make this collection as good as possible? And I'm not even saying you have to do, like, the best remaster of all time. What I am asking for, truly, is the bare minimum when it comes to remaster and cross-platform play. I get it that cross-platform play is a little bit above the bare minimum, but cross-platform play literally would have changed the game. But at the same token, given that you're having server issues with just this small amount of players, if you add cross-platform play into the wormhole, yeah, it would be more difficult, but why not? It would sell so much better, or at least it would sell better, maybe so much better. Maybe it's already gonna do very, very well, but I digress. I just think it would have done incredibly well as far as that's concerned. And right now, as I'm recording this video, the game does have 1,525 Steam reviews. We talk about how Helldivers 2, you know, we hope that game gets to a very positive reception. How about getting Battlefront Classic Collection out of a mostly negative reception? 1,525 Steam user reviews, only 21% of those reviews are positive, and you're seeing a lot of reviews trickle in. This was not like the simulations. First hour of launch, only have 3 servers to join, massing about 200 people rounded up. Seriously, WTF is this? I'll update this review if I can. Update: was able to join one Heroes versus Villains match, and the hero side was completely broken. No one could join, and Heroes team, which resulted in no one to fight against. I figured this may have just been a Battlefront 2 issue, so I hopped over to play Battlefront 1 multiplayer. There's 0 servers up for Battlefront 1. Just wow. I really do wonder how stuff like this just comes out, and I get it. It's because it's still gonna sell fairly well. It's Star Wars at the end of the day, and I get it. There's these big licensing fees attached to it, but man, if there's all this money, this licensing fee, everything like that attached to the game, you would think that we could get into a state that, again, I'm not even asking for the world. I'm asking for what I consider to be the bare minimum. Working online servers, like, is that too much to ask for? Working online servers, is that me asking for the world? Is me asking for cross-platform play too much? I get it. That's one step beyond the bare minimum, but it's still, like, it's a fair commonality in gaming today that we can get cross-platform play in a lot of these games. And if we had working online cross-platform play and literally nothing else, it was just this, you know, fine remaster, I think it would have been received so much better, and I think people would have been incredibly excited, and it would have made a world of difference in terms of the reception for Battlefront Classic Collection. But what can you do? I'm just one man complaining about this stuff online, and it's just unfortunate because while I didn't grow up playing Battlefront 1 and 2, I know for a fact what Battlefront 1 and 2 mean to a lot of people. I remember when Battlefront was announced to be getting a remake, reboot by EA, how excited people got for that just very small, very, very quick trailer. I know what this franchise means to a lot of people in terms of nostalgia, in terms of how they grew up in gaming, and just to see this is what the collection ultimately ended up being, which I know a lot of us kind of had the foresight to see it coming, but I also had hopes for a lot better than this, and it's just, what can you do? This is the world we live in these days where these things do happen, and I feel like Aspyr has been doing good work in terms of remasters. However, a lot of their stuff has been single-player stuff. Tomb Raider 1 through 3. You had Star Wars like Force Unleashed being ported to Switch. You had Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Stuff like that. You know, when you talk about an online game, a little bit different, but that'll do it for me. Again, unfortunate news all around, but what can you do? Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.